has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Forgive me, YouTube, for I have sinned. It has been several months since my last video. But now that I'm back, let's get straight back into it. Child abuse. Previously on this channel, I've done 2 videos that have been based around the Catholic response to child abuse, and this will be about the Jehovah's Witnesses response to child abuse. Now, up until recently, Jehovah's Witnesses have kind of gotten away with this whole bad apple scenario. Like, a few people have ruined our good name because they've done things that are heinous, and now we've put that right. Everything as far as our policies is concerned means that all of our children are protected, and that is simply not true. One of the best examples of this is a documentary that Lloyd Evans did, and I'll link that in the description. Feel free to watch that. I think it's about an hour long, and it kind of goes into a great detail. A lot of these cases have been high profile, but nobody's really put them into a straightforward chronological order like Lloyd does in this documentary, and it shows you just what lengths the Jehovah's Witnesses or the Jehovah's Witnesses hierarchy will go to protect their church, much like the Catholic Church has done. The Jehovah's Witnesses have done similar, but it's just on a smaller scale because there are simply lesser Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, recently, in 2015, the Australian Royal Commission looked into institutional responses to child sexual abuse within the Jehovah's Witnesses. They looked at evidence from case files that recorded reports or complaints of abuse by just over 1,000 Jehovah's Witnesses. The Commission found children are not adequately protected from the risk of sexual abuse, and the organisation does not respond adequately to allegations. The reason we know this is because up until about 2015, I think there's around 65,000 Jehovah's Witnesses in Australia. I might need to check that, but I think that's roughly right. Feel free to tell me in the comment section if I'm wrong. Up until 2015, there were 1,006 allegations, reports or complaints within the members' organisation. Guess how many of those made it to the authorities? Not one. Not a single one. That's pretty damning, right? There's a reason why this happens. It happens partly because people want to protect the church as opposed to the children, because the church is more important than the children to them. Partly because of a law or a rule. It's known as the two-witness rule. Now, if you're a Jehovah's Witness or an ex-Jehovah's Witness and you are thinking about the two-witness rule, you'll be thinking to yourself, oh, here we go with the two-witness rule all over again. But it's worth restating each time because this might be the first time anyone's ever come across it. The two-witness rule is more or less exactly how it sounds. For reasons that the Jehovah's Witnesses justify based on 2 scriptures that I found. I think one's in Matthew. I forget where the other one is. I'll link them in the description though. Based on these 2 scriptures, they have decided that 2 witnesses are needed in order to justify taking anything to the authorities. So, with regards to child abuse, they're expecting there to be 2 witnesses to a crime of child abuse. Which means, if a single child has been abused, and there is nobody else to witness that crime, the elders of a congregation can just file that away, and that's it. Let me state that again. If a single child comes forward to the elders in their congregation who they trust and go to with their problems, if there is not another witness to that crime, it can simply be filed away. Nobody goes to the authorities, nothing happens. The perpetrator or alleged perpetrator could possibly be questioned, but in many times, the way that this has been resolved is that the victim has had to sit down with their attacker and talk about it with the elders. Almost always sworn to secrecy and nobody going to the authorities. This is based primarily on their own institutional laws, which means that the Jehovah's Witnesses organisation is responsible for the rape of children. I can't really say it any clearer than that. The way that some Jehovah's Witnesses justify this to themselves is actually a damning indictment of religion in general. I've heard this phrase used quite a few times, which is left in the hands of Jehovah. Now, this means that they know that the policies are wrong, and they know that it leaves children vulnerable, and they know that these things have genuinely led to the rape of children, because if perpetrators have only been spoken to, and that's it, nobody's gone to the authorities, they have been left to do this sort of thing again, and there is documented evidence that proves this. As long as the witnesses can believe that if it's left in Jehovah's hands, all will be fine, they can close themselves down to everything else. Jesus is magic, Jehovah is magic, he will guide all things. So when I hear people say, leave people to their religion, what harm does religion do? In this instance, the laws that Jehovah's Witnesses live by means that children have been raped and will continue to be raped. Now recently, the Jehovah's Witnesses have still refused to change this law. Having adopted a number of recommendations in the name of greater transparency, there's only one thing that the church has refused to change: the 2,000-year-old protocol, the two-witness rule. Before the commission, Jehovah's Witness spokesperson Terence O'Brien said that the church, quote, considered the implication of the finding, end quote, that the two-witness rule should be scrapped. Quote, and your response is that the two-witness rule is required by the scriptures and can't be changed or avoided? He was asked. That is correct. That is our stand. Jehovah's Witness policy, their stand, is to leave in place a law that absolutely guarantees the further rape of children.
What ability have we got to protect every child in Australia?
Well, what you can do is you can report to the child protection authorities.
And that is done in some cases.
But generally it's not done, is it?
No.
It's not done unless there's a legal requirement for it to be done, is there?
That is true.
Please join me next time when I hopefully have something a little bit more light-hearted. All the links in the description, and links to Lloyd Evans and jwsurvey.org and jwfacts and all that kind of stuff. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and obviously YouTube if you're here. Subscribe, comment, like, death threats, whatever you like. And follow me on Twitter @ApostateAwake. Until next time.